Niko, Balthazar wants to know, and I know this kind of hits you close to home. I know you're, I believe you're working with Tim Canova, and you'll be able to elaborate more on that here. Balthazar wants to know, which Balthazar, thank you for your Super Chat contribution. What are your thoughts on Debbie does ballots?
Oh, as in Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Yeah, that's what that
is. God, man. Well, can I just say one thing that we were all thinking, which was like the fact that Tim Canova got that close and didn't win was great until you remember like, oh, this is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She probably cheated. And then when we finally get somebody who was bold enough to stand up to the system to question it and audit it and would not back down until we do, their reason is we didn't cheat, but we're going to destroy all these ballots so you can't find out. Is that cool? And then nobody's in jail right now. Violating federal election laws.
What is the pulse like in Florida right now? I mean, are people very disenfranchised with her? Does she still have our base?
She hasn't had our base in Florida for a good 4 or 5 years, actually.
Her base.
Like, so like anybody who considers themselves on the left, the right despises her. So she can't get a single Republican vote. And then the left.
Don't they know she's one of them?
She's worse than them.
Why do they despise her?
So there's this weird thing on the right.
She's into predatory loans. Isn't that their thing? Don't they like that too?
That's also true. That's very true. Well, the establishment, I always say the establishment doesn't really care if you have a D or an R by your name. The only sign that matters is a dollar sign. So as long as that's there, they're good with it.
It's really the only party we have. We got the money party.
But they don't like her. Matter of fact, there was a politician, I can't say her name because she's actively running for office. But I was talking to her, we were laughing. She said, I used to believe in Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton before I got woken up by another politician who was her friend. And she said, I always wondered, because she asked me, like, how do you feel about Debbie? I was like, oh, she cheated. What do you mean? Of course. And she's like, really? Maybe that's why everybody I called like slammed the phone or cussed me out when I said, are you voting for Debbie Wasserman Schultz? During phone banking. This is a politician who says this. And I was like, yeah, that's probably it. I mean, the court systems don't like her here. The people don't like her. But you have to remember, she has so much. The school systems, she's in the school system's money and reallocating it. That's one of the reasons that Elijah Manley, who was formerly running for the Green Party for president, actually is running, and he's winning right now for school board at large, because the Broward County School District has like either the first or second largest budget in the country. It's like $4 or $5 million. And
so what are you doing with Tim Canova presently? Like, what are you?
I work with him on filming and editing, getting ads out, messaging, helping with like speaking and kind of making sure that his message and tonality is going to reach not just the people in Florida, but really at large, because once he gets to that next step, it's going to take the support, like the kind of Bernie Sanders national support, to get things done and hold people accountable, because that's really what he's going there for.
So what does he need to do to really get this W? Because a lot of people are really rooting for him.
Fundraising is a big thing, because we have a lot of people to cover in that district, and we have to make sure that we can compensate people for knocking on doors, as much as we can. We want to make sure that we can hold events, which cost money, because most of the people who do like run the events are volunteers, right? But like venues cost money, food costs money. We want to bring in people and try to compensate them for their time, for knocking on doors and things like that. And I do want people to keep in mind, when he was cheated, he only lost by a few percentage points.
Right.
And he's not losing his voter base simply because he went to an independent. In fact, he ridiculously increased his fundraising when he switched to independent, because everybody's like, oh, you're not a Democrat anymore. Boom, because that was the thing that was stopping people. They were saying, I'm not going to donate money to another cheated race, especially with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Not that they don't love him, but they knew, the writing was on the wall in that case.
Well, what do you say to the people that have that criticism that he did the wrong thing by going independent?
It's laughable. I think it's laughable. I think it's self-seeking and really self-serving. It's people who are putting their chips behind the success of the Democratic Party, because, I mean, let's be honest. There are people who are hoping the party becomes progressive because they'll be one of the first in line to benefit from it. And ambition is really one of the biggest problems of the left, because for a number of reasons. But
ambition, you think ambition is one of the biggest? I would say the biggest problem of the left is there's not enough of us yet. You're saying ambition's the problem?
I say the reason I say ambition is because I was 25 when I started at UNC, which is a very unique age, because a little bit later for someone to join like a top 5 school as an undergrad. So you're seeing these kids from freshman to senior year as they go like, wow, I hope I can pass my, my econ class with anything but a D, to, oh, wow, I hope I get this job at, McKinsey Consulting. That's where because they're worried about paying their bills.
Very specific examples.
Yeah, because these are very specific. I know some very specific people.
All right.
Ted Cruz was part of the debate organization I was part of. It used to be hyper conservative, but then it became hyper neoliberal. And those kids are really the ones who end up running the world. I'm not even exaggerating. That's why I use that very specific example. People leaving Harvard their junior year to take $200,000 jobs. But once you start that lifestyle, you can't go back, And then if you're a person who's been disenfranchised their whole life and someone gives you an opportunity and we get individualized by that. They say, well, you can take care of yourself and you can take care of your family. So what do they matter? And so that ambition kicks in. And so they separate us off, break us off from our groups, make us more factionized and cliquey, really. That's how the left has always been fractured, is through our ambitions. And so it's the same thing. You see the kids who start off with these wholesome hearts get corrupted by crushing debt, the need to pay their, bills, medical bills, just be able to support themselves, travel, do the things that we all want to do with our lives. And unfortunately, 90% of the only way to do that, like to a proficient level, is with the establishment, or work 8 jobs and work on WAG and become a babysitter and a cat sitter.
Yeah, a babysitter, and your clients may have never met you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.